Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. If you are new around here, then hi, my name is Vicky and I am a first-time mum to an almost 1-year-old. And you're probably sat there thinking, why are you doing a newborn must-haves, Vicky, when you have a 1-year-old? Well, I figured I would throw my 2 cents into this like newborn must-have realm. There is so many videos on like newborn must-haves and all of those sorts of things, and I thought, although some of them are quite good, there are a few things that we found personally, so myself and my husband, I got him involved in this, that we found to be personally really helpful in those early kind of weeks and days. So I'm going to reel them off. I've wrote a big list. Some of them may not seem essential to some people, and I'm not saying by any means you have to go out and get all of these things. So if you're like an expectant mum, or you've literally just had a baby and you've just come across this video, I'm not saying that you need to go out and buy all of these things. I'm just saying that they made our lives easier and just more enjoyable in those kind of early days. So there's going to be no rhyme or reason to this video. I'm literally just going to reel them off. So the first thing that I deem to be really essential, there are going to be things for the parents in this video. It's not just going to be for the baby, but the first things are for the parents. Drinking receptacles, especially if you are a hot drink fan, get yourself a travel mug, an insulated travel mug, because probably 90% of the time you're not going to get to your drink when it's at its intended temperature. I mean, let's be honest, that probably gets worse as the child gets older and they depend on you that much more, but highly recommend one of these. Try and get a little bit more of a better quality one than I have, because I think this does have a bit of a tendency to spill. This is just one from Aldi, I just picked it up, but there is an amazing brand that I come across recently called Show. I think they've got like a buy one get one free offer on at the moment, so I'll link them down below, as I will for a lot of this other stuff as well. But yeah, highly recommend you get one of those if you like a hot drink hot. And similarly, a water bottle. Whether your mum or dad, get a water bottle. You're probably going to be nap trapped a lot of the time and you want to stay hydrated, especially when you're sleep deprived. The next thing I have on here is a wrap or carrier. So I would say if you want like a catch-all, if you're going to baby wear at kind of any point in the later times, maybe get a carrier, and one that kind of has a newborn insert or can be used for newborns. A lot of newborns are still too small for proper carriers, so I recommend a stretchy wrap, or you can get like ring slings and things like that. But I personally used stretchy wraps. I got two. One of my favourite ones is this one. It's by the brand Daisy Grow. They're an independent kind of small business, although I bought it on Amazon because I was like, I need a carrier like tomorrow, so I ordered one of those and I did not look back. It is such amazing quality. It comes in this like cute little bag as well, which is amazing, handy to kind of keep it all contained, like if you're traveling and stuff. They may seem daunting initially, but once you get the hang of kind of putting it on and wrapping it and stuff, you're kind of good to go then. And I found in those early days when all she wanted to do was be on me, whether it was to have a nap or just in general she just didn't want to be put down, a wrap saved my fucking life. Next thing seems a bit random, again not specifically for the baby, but a night light, or if you have like a bedside light, like a soft bulb in there, just because we had the lamp on like on a dim setting because we've got like a dimmer bedside light. We had it on the dimmest setting with a like soft bulb in it, and we had it on kind of all throughout the night for the first week, maybe 2 weeks, just because we had just a bit of peace of mind by doing that. It's needless to say you don't need to do that, but we personally had a bit of a peace of mind, because if we heard her stirring or, you know, making some kind of weird noise that we didn't know about, we could kind of just look down without being like, oh, turn the light on, I need to see if she's like, you know, choking or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? It was just nice to just have it on continuously but it not interrupt your sleep at the same time. And then I also got this for my side of the bed, and it's just like a little night light. I don't know if you'll be able to see it because I've got artificial lighting on as well, but it's just a little soft squishy night light, and I use this for feeding in the night, so I didn't like turn on any bigger lights or turn up the dimmer on our bedside lights. I literally just used this. I also found that this was a really good like sensory kind of thing, and it helped with a bit of kind of wind down time for my daughter, because this one specifically, this again is from Aldi, it cycles through like loads of different colours. So yeah, I found I put that on the bed kind of next to her, and she would literally just stare at it, and it was awesome. So I'd recommend some kind of night light or something. I have recently seen someone I follow on Instagram mentioned a night light that kind of has like almost like a docking station and then something that you can kind of take off and move about with you. That looks really good, so I'll leave that link down below. I haven't used it myself, but yeah, in general, a night light. Next up, a nappy caddy. Whether you have one or two of these are an absolute godsend. Just to kind of, one, act as like a catch-all, but then act as almost a nappy changing bag, but that you can kind of just move it back. I mean, you could probably just use your nappy changing bag and move it about with you, but I just found it was nice to see that this was like all stocked with all of the things that I would need. I personally only had one. We live in a bungalow, so it's quite easy to go from our bedroom to the living room. So like on a day I would bring it out here with me, and then in the evening I would then take it back in the bedroom. But you could just have two. You could have one in the bedroom and one out here. But yeah, these are amazing. So the next item is something that I don't think is 100% necessary, and I would highly recommend that you buy this kind of thing secondhand. And it is a baby swing or bouncer or something like that. And if you speak to your friends or family or whatever, half of them will say, oh my god, it's an absolute godsend, get one, get one, get one. And the other half of them will just be like, oh my god, no, it was such a waste of money, it didn't work. Now, a lot of people, I think, buy them with the thought that it will soothe the baby. I can put them in there like little rocker and it will rock them off to sleep. And although that does work for some babies, it didn't for mine, I personally found it really handy to have somewhere like that, a little kind of bouncer swing thing, just so I could safely put her down and like run off to the toilet or go pop the kettle on or something like that. Otherwise I kind of felt like I had to just lay her on a blanket on the floor, and I was a bit like, oh, I don't know, I just felt weird about that. Not that she could do anything in those kind of early days, but I just personally found it was really handy to have somewhere like that to put her, so I knew that she'd be safe. And yeah, I just found it was quite good, even to be fair, for those kind of first 5 or so months, because before she could like sit up by herself, I could kind of prop her upright and she was kind of looking around at a different level other than just being led on the floor, and I think she really enjoyed it as well. Granted, like I say, it didn't like rock her to sleep or anything, but I still found that it was like a must-have for us. So the next thing, I don't have it here to show you because it's currently in my daughter's room, and that is white noise. White or pink noise, haven't actually tried pink noise. White noise seemed to work for us. So I personally have a dream egg. I'll leave again link to a dream egg down below, and oh my god, just amazing. All these people rave about friggin' You and the Dream Sheep, and I don't know what the other one is, the Tommy Tippy Panda or something, I don't know what it is. I don't like them. I don't like that they're not continuous. I just don't like them. They eat batteries, they're just crap. Get a white noise machine. Portable white noise machine. That is what we have. It works perfectly. We have it on all night. every nap time, and if we go out, I'll take it with me just in case I think she needs a nap. But I've found, as time's gone on, it has just been an absolute godsend for like those pram naps and things like that. It just blocks out all other noise, and it is great. Like, I have it on obviously now while my daughter is napping. I'm not worried about the amount of noise I'm making because she cannot hear me, and it is brilliant. So yeah, highly recommend white noise machine. So the next thing is a bath thermometer, and this may sound a bit silly to include in this because I feel like it's like almost like a given, but I feel like it's something that I probably wouldn't have even thought about, so I thought I would just throw this in there anyway. We just got the Tommy Tippy one because we saw it in Aldi one time, so we thought, oh, that's handy, we'll just get that. And yeah, because it's surprising the length of time you second guess the temperature of like your child's bath. Like, I still do even now, almost a year on, which is just insane. And it's not me being like super worried and pedantic and stuff, it's just that I don't want her overheating, but also I don't want her sat in a cold bath because I don't like either of those things myself. So it's just handy to kind of have that extra peace of mind, something to just say it's at the right temperature, you're good to go. So yeah, highly recommend a bath thermometer. So the next few things I have are kind of a bit more baby related, and the first of that is cloth wipes. So I did trial cloth wipes in the kind of early days, and I found them to be so good. Like, newborn baby poo is fucking disgusting. It gets everywhere, it's just a nightmare. And when you're using disposable wipes, I feel like it makes it harder because the wipe just kind of smears it all about, whereas I feel like with cloth wipes it grabs onto the poo a bit more and actually cleans it off. Not to mention, obviously, these are a hell of a lot gentler. They are literally just cloth. You'd obviously rinse it under the tap to get them wet, clean up your baby, pop them in the wash. Newborn baby poo, well, up to weaning poo is like water soluble, so it doesn't matter if obviously they're covered in poo and you put them in the washing machine, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, I highly recommend cloth wipes. You can get them from various different brands and stuff. I personally have these ones by Little Gubbins just because I found them to be like just the perfect size for me, because you can kind of wipe, fold, and then chuck it in your little thing. But yeah, like I say, you can get so many different ones, but these are personally my favourite ones. Also, you don't just have to use these obviously for bums. Granted, yes, I think they are probably better. Obviously, they're a lot more gentle, they're a lot more effective at cleaning, but you can obviously use these to like mop up sicky spillages or milky spillages or anything like that. I just find them to be so handy. Along with the next thing, muslins. You knew it was going to be in there, muslins, and a lot of them. I specifically put that in brackets on my list. Now, I personally had a really sicky baby. She had quite bad acid reflux, so she was sick a lot of the time. So we went through muslins like they were freaking water, and I just found it so handy to have loads. I know a lot of people say, oh my god, like, I've read all these things that say I need to have loads of muslins and I bought loads and then I didn't end up using them. They're not going to go off. I would personally rather have had a lot to start with and not used them than only had a few and had to go without, if that makes any sense, because we literally went through like 4 or 5 a day, if not more. So muslins, just muslins, putting it out there. The next thing is something that I didn't really know a huge amount about. I'd seen them, and I think I had one that was given to me by a friend, but I wish I'd had more, and that is zip sleep suits. This is actually something that my husband said when I asked him if he had any kind of thoughts on this list, because they just make life so much easier, especially in the middle of the night when you're changing bums. My husband's literally just walking through the door now, sorry. Yeah, they just make life so much easier, and I feel like that is basically what this list is. a list of stuff that is going to hopefully make your life a lot bit easier. So yeah, highly recommend zippy sleep suits. The next thing is like sleeping bags slash swaddles. Not all babies like to be swaddled, and obviously got to take the weight factor into things. Obviously don't put your baby in a sleeping bag when they're way too small for it, but I just found they were so handy. Once Soph was big enough to be in a sleeping bag rather than having a blanket on at night, oh, it just made life so much easier, rather than having to worry about tucking it all in so she couldn't get all, you know, tangled under a blanket and have that extra worry at night. Game changer, absolute game changer. And the last thing I have to share is something that I personally found to be really helpful. I think my husband would probably say the same thing too. A lot of people don't really like this kind of thing because they found it to be more anxiety provoking, but I personally found it to be the opposite, and that is apps. So I personally tried 2 over the last year. The first one was Baby Tracker. I'll include like a little image of which app that I'm on about, in case you want to like look it up. And I found that one to be really helpful because you could like link it. So I could link it with my husband, and I could like put in like a feed or a nappy change or whatever, and then if he was looking after her for the next few hours, like we kind of almost took it in like little shifts in those first few weeks, he could see when she was last changed and when she was last fed and things like that, and I found it to be really helpful. I did then end up switching over to Huckleberry. I just used the free one, not the like paid for version, and again I found that to be really good as well. I think I ended up preferring that one in the end. Obviously we were at the point that we didn't need to necessarily share the information anymore, which is why I'd switched over to that one. And yeah, I just found it really handy to kind of see what went on throughout the day. And yeah, like I say, a lot of people find it to be quite anxiety provoking, thinking, oh shit, like I've got to log this and do this, that and the other. But I personally found that to be really helpful because my memory is worse than a goldfish, let me tell you. And it was just so nice to just have that reassurance. Obviously you have to remember to do it at the time, but it was nice to just have that reassurance. Click on the app. Oh, I changed it half an hour ago, that's fine then, I don't really need to change it now unless you've done a shit. But yeah, it was just nice to have, and I feel like it's just technology's way of slipping into parenthood. But yeah, found them to be really helpful. If you're like me, then you probably would find them helpful too. Granted, you could use them for a week and think this is just bullshit, like this is just making my life harder. Delete the app, don't use it, don't worry about it. But if you're like me, you might find it helpful, so I thought I would include it in this video. So that concludes my like newborn must-haves. Hopefully this was helpful to like an expectant parent, or anything. Like I say, I'm going to be doing kind of a few videos like this in the near future, so if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, comment down below, let me know if there's anything else that you found to be like a newborn must-have when you had a baby. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.